What's up guys, it's Matt from TDM Style here and welcome back to the channel for another review, and today we're having a look at the styling clay from Fuertes Hair Studio. Alright, so the Fuertes Clay is technically a homebrew really, but it's coming from a barbershop out of Charlotte, North Carolina, here in the US by a man named Frankie Fuertes. So I had heard a bit about this clay. I saw Mike over at Modern Man TV reviewed it and he really liked it, and I started getting a lot of requests, especially on Instagram, like people telling me I should look at it and review it, and then Frankie actually reached out to me himself. We had a little bit of a chat about it, and he offered to send me one to review. So this is not a sponsored video, but I do want to give a shout out to Frankie for sending this to me to check it out. So without any further ado, let's get right in the review and start out with packaging. So when you first get this in the mail, you will find it comes in this little white cardboard box with this sticker on the front that does say Fuertes Styling Products, and it's got a little bit of information about the clay there. So we've got the ingredients list as well as the instructions. Then inside the box, you will find this 3-ounce white and black plastic jar. So we've got the white jar here with the sticker labeling on it, and then the black lid. I like the packaging. It's very just minimalist, it's modern, it's very reminiscent of the Morris Motley packaging, which I like that a lot as well. And you know, I think it looks nice. It looks nice on a shelf, and it looks like something that you would see sitting on a shelf in a barbershop. Now, of course, I opened this package off camera, but one thing I did want to mention is that inside the jar, there is also a peel-off, like, freshness seal over the jar. So I just thought that was a nice touch and something that, you know, we don't often see in hair products, especially home brews. So it's just, I thought that was kind of nice. You know that when you get it, you're getting something that's really fresh. All right, now getting next into scent, and it's actually printed right on the front of the jar there as sweet orange and lavender, and that is exactly what it smells like. I get the orange up front. It's a nice, clean, citrusy smell, and that little bit of lavender in there is just enough to just give it a really fresh, light scent. It's not overpowering, it's not too floral, so it doesn't smell like perfume or anything. It's just really clean, really light. All right, next moving on to the ingredients list, and this is one that we can actually read through the whole thing because it's short and sweet. And what I especially like about the ingredients list on this is that almost every single product in here is organic. So in the first spot, we have organic white beeswax, followed by organic castor oil, organic jojoba oil, organic argan oil, vitamin E, then we've got bentonite and kaolin clay, and then organic arrowroot powder, organic orange oil, and organic lavender oil. And that's it. So, I mean, I'm going to refer to this as an oil-based clay. I know technically it's wax-based with that, Sarah Alba white beeswax in the first slot, but then it is followed up by castor oil and a number of other oils and things. And so in terms of, it's not water-based, let's put it that way. And just for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to refer to this as an oil-based clay. All right, so with all that stuff out of the way, let's actually open the jar and see how this stuff scoops out, how it breaks down, and how it works in my hair. So taking a look inside the jar, we will see what we expect from a clay product, this kind of grayish, earthy looking tone. And of course mine looks very smooth because I've been using this stuff just on the regular for the past couple of weeks. But when you first get this, you will see this kind of texture on the top that you can tell it's a hand poured product. It doesn't look perfect, and I like that about it. So as far as the scoop and the breakdown, the initial scoop, again, when you first get this, has a little bit of firmness on the very top layer, but once you get past that into the clay underneath, it does scoop out quite soft and creamy. It is a bit firm, so you are going to need a little bit of pressure to get it out of that jar, but once you get it into the hands, you will feel it's just super lightweight and creamy and breaks down very easily. So I will say, in comparison to most other oil-based clays, this one is softer and easier to emulsify and much less sticky feeling in the hands. All right, so now is a perfect time to jump into the demo footage that I have for you guys. So we're gonna see exactly how this clay styles into my hair, what the finished result looks like, and how it lasts throughout a full day. So here we are starting out with clean, dry hair as always, and now I'm taking a small scoop of this stuff. It is important to say that a little goes a long way with this, and if you do use too much, it can get a little bit greasy looking in the hair. So definitely start small, and you can always layer in more as needed. Now, as far as applying this to the hair, this is an absolute fucking dream. It is so smooth. There is zero tug and pull. It just glides in completely effortlessly, and that's something that I really like about it, and something that for me really sets it apart from the other oil-based or heavy traditional clays. So at this point, I'm going to go in with just another small scoop because I just want to add a little bit of extra hold and control. And here we are with the finished style. So you can see just really, really great texture, really great volume. And one thing that's important to note here is that it does have a little bit of a natural shine at first, but after it's set in for about 10 to 15 minutes, that shine will lift out and it does give way to a really nice matte finish that doesn't look shiny, but it also doesn't look dry. It keeps your hair looking really healthy and smooth. All right, now this is listed as a firm hold matte finish clay, and so as I mentioned, it does start out with a little bit of a natural shine, but that does lift out and give way to what I would consider to be the ideal matte finish. Not too dry, but not shiny either. And as far as the firm hold goes, with my current hair length, which is probably about 4 inches in the front and tapered to about 2 inches in the back, the firm hold is there. This stuff will not move all day long, but at the same time, it stays very soft, it stays very pliable, and my hair feels great. It's very light, it's flowy, but the control stays there and the style will stay in place, but it doesn't feel heavy or rigid or anything like that. So the hold is interesting. It's like, I would even say it's a strong hold, but not like technically firm. Like your hair doesn't feel firm, but it stays in place all day. So here we can see a perfect example of that. This is after having it in my hair for 8 hours, and you can see that the style is basically exactly the way that I left it shortly after I finished styling it in the morning. The texture is still there, the volume is still there, it hasn't dropped out at all. It hasn't gotten greasy, the finish still looks nice and matte. And being an oil-based clay, it is very pliable, so it's easy to run your fingers or a comb through it and move it around and restyle it as needed. Now, in terms of the washout, I mean, this is an oil-based clay, so it's not water-based, so it is not going to come totally out with just water. Although, I found for me, with like warm water rinse, it comes out most of the way. And you really only need a light cleanser, a light shampoo to get the rest of it out. It's not like an oil-based pomade that you have to, condition it first for 5 minutes and then rinse it with 2 shampoos and whatever. It's not like that at all. Just a light shampoo and your hair will be squeaky clean. And what I've noticed for me is that after washing this out, my hair just feels extra conditioned. Like, if there was a clay that actually does behave like a hair mask and a styling product in one, it's this guy. Now, as far as price is concerned, this comes in at $30 US, and if you are buying it from the Fuertes Hair Studio website, and you're inside the US, it's a $5 shipping fee on top of that. So you're looking at $35 for 3 ounces of product. And for those of you who are overseas in Europe or the UK, they do also sell this on the Slikhaar Shop for $32, so I'll have links to both of those in the description down below for you guys. And for those of you purchasing from Slikhaar Shop, I do also have a code down there so you can get some free shipping. All right, so my overall thoughts on the Fuertes Styling Clay. This stuff is just unfucking believable, man. This has become my absolute favorite oil-based clay. I mean, I've had several oil-based clays that are kind of my go-tos in the past, like, the Baxter of California clay, which is petro-based, or, like Lockhart's, which are wax-based clays. And those are all great, but this stuff just, for me and my hair type at least, just knocks those out of the park. I mean, there's a lot to like here. You guys saw in the demo that the firm hold and the matte finish are true, and as I mentioned, what sets this apart from other oil-based clays for me is that it stays so light in the hair. It doesn't get heavy, it doesn't weigh it down, it doesn't get greasy as the day goes on. The texture and the volume are just perfect, and it keeps my hair feeling so good. Obviously, as somebody who gets their hair processed quite a lot, my hair can be on the drier side. I mean, I have drier hair to begin with, and then on top of that, I'm having it bleached and colored at the salon pretty frequently. So I really do have to take care to use really good shampoos and conditioners and stuff to make sure I'm keeping my hair healthy and I'm keeping it moisturized and conditioned. And this stuff has been a tremendous help. I mean, and I'm not trying to hype the product at all, but this, I mean, it just is amazing. Like, I had this in my hair the last time I went to the salon, and my stylist even said herself, like, wow, your hair feels really good. I kind of expected it to be a little bit dry because the last time I was there, we had done a full bleach out and stuff, but it just felt so good. And the fact that even with the product in my hair, like, she was able to run a comb through it easily, no knots, no tugging, no anything. It just feels great, and it lasts all day. And even for me, I found that even like sleeping on it the next day, it's still not greasy. Like, it still looks good. I don't even really need dry shampoo. I can just kind of, you know, restyle it a little bit as necessary and just go on for day 2. Now, I know that the price is a little bit more expensive than the other clays and products that you guys may be used to, so that may be a point of deliberation for you, but I gotta tell you, this is like $30 absolutely well spent. You know, I mean, a big part of that price is just because all the organic ingredients in there are expensive. They're expensive for Frankie to buy so that he can brew this. So, you know, you're just, basically you get what you pay for. Organic ingredients, regardless of what they are. I mean, even if you go to the supermarket, the organic food is always like twice as expensive as the not organic stuff. So, you know, that plays a big role in the price of the product. But as I mentioned, like, if you're gonna spend between, we'll just round it out, and we'll say if you're gonna spend between $30 and $40 for what I would consider to be an absolute luxury hair product, buy this. Like, forget about Morris Motley and all those other like $40 range products. Buy the Fuertes Clay, because you will not be disappointed. So, Frankie, if you're watching, you did a fucking amazing job, man. You should be really proud of yourself. This is great stuff. And all you guys, I definitely highly, highly recommend that you check this out if you're in the market for an oil-based clay. So that does it for this week's review, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed making it. This is definitely going to become a staple on my shelf, and I think if you try it, it might become a staple for yours too. Please be sure to stay tuned to the channel. I've got lots more reviews and lots more content coming up, so if you haven't already, please do hit that subscribe button down below to keep up to date with all that upcoming stuff. And as always, thank you guys so much for coming by and watching, and we'll see you at the next one.